China and Taiwan. China. My fellow Americans. Hasan is probably one of the biggest streamers out there. Maybe even the biggest streamer on lefty space. And occasionally has really stupid takes. Like really like he's bad. Like he's dumb with his takes. And very recently, Hasan started a podcast called Leftovers with Ethan Klein from H3H3. Okay? I don't really watch it because I don't really care for H3H3 anymore. I used to watch the H3 podcast when I was younger, but I kind of grew up out of it. Although it did irreparably ruin my sense of humor, which I'm ashamed about. But Hasan recently on there had just the worst take about Taiwan and China. And today we're going to be watching that, and I'm going to be giving my 2 cents on it. So, Animal Crossing music is off, the video is going to go up, and let's watch it now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He said he wants to preempt a war against China.
He wants to like fight against China, but he also kind of wants to like leave Taiwan to China. It's like very weird. He has like a very weird foreign policy like that.
His big thing is he's extremely hawkish on China, right? Like that's like the foreign policy.
I don't like that.
He said he wants to preempt a war against China.
He wants to like fight against China, but he also kind of wants to like leave Taiwan to China. It's like very weird. He has like a very weird foreign policy perspective on it.
Right.
The obviously like xenophobic, anti-Chinese perspective is like shared commonly by the entire intelligence community, our State Department. Obviously, it's like American policy, but
that is true. The current like the way we do fucking intelligence in the US is very stationed against China because China is seen as the main political rival to the US, which like yeah. It's not right. But like, yeah, that's kind of how it is. Hasan is right about that. But he is about to say some stupid stuff, as we are about to see.
The whole like leave Taiwan, or first leave Taiwan alone, and then give them all guns. Like make Taiwan like America, where every person in Taiwan has a weapon.
How do we feel about Taiwan, Hasan? China or not
Taiwan?
China? Or is it China or not China?
That's the American policy. Whatever the American policy is, whatever the American.
And here we go.
No, I'm saying it's like.
Also, I will say I like the comedic timing. Hello, Ubo. I love the comedic timing of the like drum roll coming up whenever Hasan is asked to like actually state his position on China and Taiwan. And I'm gonna go back since I paused it so that y'all can see like the way that Hasan weasely weasels out of what's going on. Literally weaseling, dude, out of saying his actual personal position on Taiwan is phenomenal here. So let's watch.
Like America, where every person in Taiwan has a weapon.
How do we feel about Taiwan, Hasan? China or not
Taiwan?
China? Or is it China or not China?
That's the American policy. Whatever the American policy is, whatever the American perspective
What's your opinion? You really won't say?
No, I'm saying it's like one country, 2 systems. You know.
That is not the American policy on Taiwan. That is the American policy on. Not even the American policy on Hong Kong. That's just the Chinese policy of Hong Kong, where it's 1 country, 2 systems. Although it's really just 1 country, 2 systems, but the fucking one of the systems is trying very hard and succeeding at sucking in the other system and completely getting rid of it. So that's not even America's position on Taiwan. He doesn't even, either he's lying or he doesn't know. And both are bad, because if you're talking about geopolitics and you consider yourself a leftist streamer, you should probably know a bit more about Taiwan to the point where you actually know the fucking situation. Baseline. So either Hasan is lying about his knowledge or he just doesn't know the situation.
No, it's not. It's 2 different countries.
Really?
Taiwan and China.
Is that?
I like the shock there. Really? They're two different countries. Really? Like, come on, Hasan.
According to American foreign policy.
No, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? Taiwan independent?
My opinion on Taiwan is that Taiwan is the Chinese concept of Taiwan should remain in the hands of the people in Taiwan.
Okay. Very weird way to step around shit.
Therefore, it's independent.
Who, for the record, for the most part, just believe to not disrupt the ongoing relations with.
Why are you being
China.
so carefully footed around?
Because I know that.
And this is, listen, even Klein, for all intents and purposes, he calls himself a soakdom. He's kind of soakdumish, but like everything I've seen from him has been, he's politically soakdom, probably, definitely, most definitely. He calls himself a soakdom, but like his rhetoric is very libbish. He's not he's soakdummy in the way that he supports Bernie, not in the way that like other soakdums that I interact with just being in a leftist space are soakdum. He's like Bernie soakdum, which is cool. That's kind of libby. It's kind of liberally, and I'm fine with that because this is a liberal calling out a leftist on fucking shitty positions on China and Taiwan and being not willing to go hard on the position, on the stance, which Hasan is not doing. That one question of why are you being so like light-footed when talking about this is a perfect question, and that's one thing I do respect about Ethan when it comes to him debating. Ethan is shockingly a good debater because he's a good interviewer. And him being a good interviewer means that he's good at asking questions. And when you're good at asking questions, you have, like, even in, like, a non-hostile, non-combative state, if you're good at asking questions, that feeds into debate, because that makes you really good at the Socratic method. Even, like, unintentionally, you become really good at the Socratic method, and that's one thing that Ethan does really good at.
There's going to be an ongoing...
as you can see here.
For the record, for the most part, just believe to not disrupt the ongoing relations with.
Why are you being
China.
So carefully footed around?
Because I know that there's going to be a subreddit. There's going to be a subreddit post with like a million fucking comments being like, Hasan wants everyone in Taiwan to be killed because he loves China. He's the Xi Jinping.
That's what I heard.
That's what I just. It's already over. You asked me that question, like in jest, and it's gonna.
No, I was genuinely curious what you think about it.
I think that
Piker am using a
I think that overall, its contemporary history is complex. At the end of the day, if the Taiwanese citizens would ever put this up for a vote and we're like, we want to fucking be an independent nation, it's up to them. You know what I mean?
They
You
already
can't.
done that?
They are.
No,
There's
are.
No, what Hasan said is
Yeah, like Taiwan is an independent nation. They aren't voting for any fucking parties in Taiwan that want to reunify with the CCP. Taiwan is a democracy, a flawed democracy, but a democracy. They aren't voting for parties that want to unify with the CCP. I think it's pretty fucking clear, not the CCP, but the PRC. I think it's pretty clear that the people of Taiwan quite enjoy their independence, actually. I think it's quite obvious about that.
It's true from everything I've read that most people in Taiwan nowadays support just keeping the status quo, like the kind of
But they're
strategic ambiguity.
And keep in mind, the status quo is Taiwan being independent.
I mean, the overwhelming majority's consensus opinion is that they don't want to disrupt relations with China, and they also, like, obviously, if it was a situation between like full-blown independence versus like becoming a Chinese state, like becoming a part of the Chinese state.
Do the people of Taiwan like pay taxes in China? Like, do they vote? I
don't know. I don't know the exact details of that.
They're
They
an
have like
independent
travel
nation.
status in China.
But the thing is, like, as far as
recognition.
Chinese Taiwanese relations
Yeah,
goes,
they're pushing to officialize
like,
that
the original
independence.
inception
That's
of the
the big issue that Taiwan is facing. Because functionally, Taiwan is an independent nation. They have their own Congress. They have their own president, Tsai Ing-wen. They have their own capital, multiple cities, a very robust economy for as tiny of an island that it is, and how little land that they have to actually work on, since a lot of that island is mountainous. They have a really robust economy. Taiwan is an independent nation in everything but recognition, and the only reason why they aren't independent in recognition is because the country that doesn't want them to be recognized is fucking China. And no one wants to piss off China by recognizing Taiwan in writing. But in everything, Taiwan is independent. In everything, Taiwan is independent. And even the United States, as a country, recognizes that Taiwan is independent. We may not say it officially, but our actions concerning Taiwan are recognitions that they are independent. One of the big talks that is happening in U.S. politics is whether or not the U.S. should defend Taiwan in the event that China tries to invade. And that's what the U.S. likes to be vague on. We don't want to say outright, yeah, we'll defend Taiwan if they get invaded, because that would fuck our relations with China, and we don't need our relations fucked with China. Yeah? So we keep it vague. But even having that conversation, we're recognizing that Taiwan is an independent country, because those aren't the conversations that were happening in the past about Hong Kong and their independence, because Hong Kong legally is a part of China, whereas Taiwan, depending on who you ask, is, if you're asking the PRC, is, or is not if you're asking pretty much anyone else. Yeah? Last year, China got really fucking angry at the US because Nancy Pelosi, who was Speaker of the House of Representatives at the time, the third most powerful position in the country, mind you, third in line to the presidency if the president and the vice... No, second in line. Second in line. Because if the president gets taken out, then it's the vice president, and then it's the Speaker of the House. So, legitimately, one of the most powerful people in the United States, like, top 5 most powerful people in the United States, went to Taiwan, and China got really pissy over that, because that's an act of recognition, and they couldn't do shit about it, because they just sent a diplomat. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna get mad at it about? They threatened to shoot down Pelosi's plane. China knows that Taiwan is an independent country. They just don't want anyone to recognize it. The US position on Taiwan is vague because we need it to be vague to maintain relations with China. Functionally, the US does recognize Taiwan. So whatever Hasan is saying by, oh, I'm just going by the US position, and then his idea of the US position is actually supporting China's idea that it's like a one country, two systems idea, which isn't even what China thinks of Taiwan. They think that they're just a rebelling province, is stupid. Hasan, again, either A, doesn't know what he's talking about, or B, is being intentionally obtuse so that he doesn't get called on his shitty positions on China and Taiwan.
Country is
I bet
I
that's
want
different from Kelpel Stream. How's shit, Kelpel
fascist
Stream?
dictatorship that America recognized as the real China until
We'll
Richard
raid
Nixon
into her when I'm done.
normalized relations with China,
Hold on.
and that's where they implemented the they call it strategic ambiguity, which I call lying.
Hold on.
They
This
said-
says that the current administration of Taiwan maintains that
And
Taiwan
what I was
is
talking
already
about, like, the US is not wanting to be very open and honest about what's going on with China and Taiwan. Strategic ambiguity isn't lying. It's what they have to do. It's foreign policy. The US recognizes Taiwan in all but name because China throws a fit anytime. Yeah, the US recognizes Taiwan as an independent nation. We just can't do it openly because China will fucking get pissy about it. Like, if China wasn't China, we would be openly recognizing Taiwan. If China was like the equivalent of Serbia and Kosovo, if the situation was the equivalent of Serbia and Kosovo, we would be recognizing Taiwan. But we can't, because China is China, not fucking Serbia. No one gives a shit about Serbia. If you piss off China, you fucked up. If you piss off China, your economy has a very good chance of taking a fucking swan dive. So no one wants to piss off China. The US is the only country that can really kind of get away with that, and even then, they don't want to rock the fucking boat. We don't want to rock the fucking boat. Foreign policy wise, that would be a bad fucking idea, so we keep it vague. That's not lying.
independent country.
Yes.
This does not have to push for any sort of formal independence.
There are well, that's because they don't want to do like a full blown.
Exactly.
They don't want to disrupt the status quo. That's why they're saying that.
Sure, they don't want to be invaded by China.
They want autonomy while simultaneously being under the Chinese banner, according
Like
to
they want
international.
independence. but
No, they won't. No, they don't. If they wanted to be under the Chinese banner, they would be under the Chinese banner. Taiwan is a democracy. They can vote for parties that would try to unify with China. They don't want to do that. They want to maintain themselves as an independent nation, which is why they are doing that. So Hasan, listen, Kefal semi-rain? Really? That's cool. Listen, I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm gonna give you all. Thank you, Kefals, also. Hold up. I'll show you what Hasan is doing here. And I completely misspelled that, but I don't care. Yeah?
Nothing I do.
I'm gonna show you what Hasan is doing here.
Is performative. So I'm not going to, for instance, I'll use Hasan as an example. I'm not going to talk to a black person like Trihex and say, hey, the N-word, it's always what do you think black people...
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. Holy shit, dude.
Excuse me.
Holy
Sorry.
fucking
I'm out of
shit,
control. I
dude.
apologize for that.
Literally lying.
Still lying to his audience.
Can
Someone
at
at least
fucking enlighten Destiny that he's
inform Hasan that he's literally lying to his audience. But no, like, this is exactly what's going on. Hasan is literally lying, dude. Like, literally lying, dude. Oh, wait, shit.
Non-compute.
That was before stream. I have to get back to the H3 club. Where is that? Okay, here we are. We're back.
Just don't want to be like attacked by China.
But yeah, no, like,
well, that's
literally
for sure.
lying, dude.
So you
She's
understand how
executing
Taiwan
the
was
stream. Oh,
developed
that's
as a
chill.
nation state, right?
Wait,
So
really?
Mao purged and
Oh, well,
defeated.
if she's playing the stream, people from Kefal's chat, I'm not saying necessarily come over and, like, jump off of Kefal's stream. Stay on Kefal's stream. Watch Kefal's stream, people in chat. But if you want to watch more of me, a pillow, just go to YouTube. You can type in a pillow, a space pillow, and you can subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter at RealApillow. I'm 15 followers away from 1,300. Keep watching Kefal's stream. Do not click off of Kefal's stream. You're watching Kefal's stream for a reason. Stay watching Kefal's stream. I want you to stay watching Kefal's stream. We love wigglers here, and we want you to stay. But never hurts to come over, subscribe, hit that bell icon, maybe even join my Discord so that you know whenever I go live, so that, say, if Kefals isn't live, you can watch me. But stay on Kefal's stream. Do not click off of Kefal's stream. Uncritical support to Kefals, because she gives uncritical support to me, and I appreciate that. But stay on Kefal's stream. Okay? Cool. Too late? What do you mean, too late? Well, don't come over just yet. Come on. Come on. Okay, back to the segment.
The counter-revolutionary forces, Taiwan has been a larger part of like China historically. And
also, calling the nationalist forces in China the counter-revolutionary forces is like technically incorrect. They aren't counter-revolutionary. They were against the revolution because they were the government. They weren't like some group that rose up against the revolution, against Mao's fucking Red Army to like fight against them. They were just the government. So, not necessarily counter-revolutionary, just like legit the status quo forces.
And the original Taiwanese claim was that the entire mainland China belonged to what is now known as Taiwan.
Which is a claim that they've largely dropped. They just want to be left the fuck alone now.
And that was the American foreign policy position as well, because, you know, China was communist and Taiwan was a fascist military dictatorship. So they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna completely ignore China until Nixon normalized relations with China. And then Taiwan became a democratic country, of course, with still a lot of reactionary opinions overall, but like that's gone away in recent years. I think the younger generations have a different perspective on the matter. But overall, like historically speaking, Taiwan and China being the same country, it has been around for much longer than, like, as Elon Musk said, Hawaii being an American state. Much, much longer.
Taiwan is already independent. That's what I'm saying. People don't want to form a declaration.
Taiwan is already independent.
War. But they're not.
I like how Ethan can just read this out and be completely right. And Hasan, someone who knows politics, who's built his career off of politics, again, either doesn't know this or is literally lying, dude. Okay? Just completely lying. Taiwan is independent functionally. It's just in name, in recognition, Taiwan isn't independent. No, like not many countries are gonna go out there and say, "Oh yeah, Taiwan's independent." But almost every country's gonna go, "Hey Taiwan, look, we can't recognize you officially, but like, hey girl, let's trade. That's some nice text shit you got. We love you." Like, Taiwan is independent. Like Lucky Otter is saying in chat, Taiwan has gay marriage. They are one of the only countries in Asia to recognize gay marriage. Like, they're super unique. Is Hasan's city guiding Elon Musk as a... I don't know what that word is, Taylor. I apologize. Let's continue.
Wanting to be Hong Kong and be consumed by the Chinese party.
You don't want to be Hong Kong? What happened in Hong Kong?
Am I saying the right place?
No, you
They were independent, and then they got fucking eaten.
They were
up.
not independent.
Oh, they had some rights. They were less independent than Taiwan, and then they got eaten
Hong Kong
up.
was bought by you know.
Are you saying the people of Hong Kong did not want to be?
There were certainly people that did not want to be a part of China. Absolutely, that is 100% correct.
Most of them.
A lot of
people there took a lot of pride in not being.
A lot of people enjoyed having Western civil liberties while simultaneously like being in a unique position. But now that
almost like people like freedom.
China already does
hello, trans
regular
girl
trade.
Hello, gay fish.
Because like at a time
Cool
in like,
for
the
a-
90s, Hong Kong was
Yay.
seen as like this prosperous middle ground. But
Also,
since
couples.
the 2000s,
Wait, like the
because
couples
of the
end
insane
stream
amount of
and is
development-
rating into me? I don't think so. Holy shit! Okay, my numbers just jumped in. Oh god, okay. We'll address the couples raid after we finish the segment.
Trade
I'm eating
with the rest of the
cashews,
planet.
by the way.
There are tier 1 cities that are even larger and have more economic activity than Hong Kong in and of itself. And there was always a timeline where Hong Kong was going to be given back to China. They just accelerated it by like 2 decades, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you for the raid, couples.
That was a lease on Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So the people of Hong Kong, there were certainly a lot of people in Hong Kong that did not want to be a part
Regardless
of
of
the
the-
Chinese state. But overall, if you look at the situation in Hong Kong right now, it's like they claimed that it was going to be devastating, and that has not happened.
Not that we know of, because they can't. They have no freedom of speech anymore.
Okay.
They can't talk. They lost
that
the
part
right.
is true. You're right.
What are we going to learn from that?
I will not.
They have secret prisons,
I
bro.
do not agree with China's social
Yeah, I heard
or
the
civil
audio
liberties policy.
It was
do not
because I
agree with that at all.
reloaded the tab.
That's why I don't live in China. I live in America. However, having said that, you can just go to Hong Kong and you can just go to every part of China pretty much and see for yourself. This is no longer like the North Korea style hermit kingdom where like no information comes out. Like we have
Regardless.
we have a shit ton of Chinese people that live in America. And
Regardless,
a shit ton of
bro, it's
American
not
people that live in
that
China.
they had rights. They don't have rights now. They lost a lot of rights. But whatever. I mean, this is interesting that you're very soft. You're
Snuggle Kitten is right. When Hong Kong was handed back over to China from the British, China promised to keep some level of Hong Kong independence. Not independence, but autonomy, which they trampled on because it's China. What the fuck is Hong Kong gonna do about it? Like, that's just a gentleman's agreement. There's no way to uphold it. There's no way to protect it. Realistically, if Hong Kong wanted, the moment that the last British ship left fucking China, they could have just went, fucking purge time, baby! Let's fucking get some purges open, where you're getting gulagged, you're getting gulagged, you're getting gulagged, you're getting your fucking kneecaps taken and no one could have done shit about it. Yeah? That's what they can just do. They can't do that with Taiwan, though, because Hong Kong is legally a part of China, Taiwan isn't, and China really doesn't want that. I guarantee you, if China had a choice in what happens to Taiwan, a lot of people in the Taiwanese government would be getting fucking disappeared right now. Like, not even arrested. Like, they would just disappear. Like, the fucking 1960 Soviet Russia disappeared. Yeah,
Very,
everyone gets gulagged.
You're very soft-footed around the issue of China. You love China.
I think China.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once
Ethan's
again,
such a great fucking
I
debater.
don't live there.
Hold
I
up.
choose to live here because of the issues that you just brought up, which is civil liberties being taken away, no freedom of speech, walled garden internet. Like there are certainly parallels to the American state or the Western world that there are certainly comparisons that you could make, but overall, that kind of mechanism of control is one that I do not appreciate personally, which is why I choose to live here. But as far as like
Also,
cruelty,
the UK had to hand back Hong Kong. They had I think it was like a 99-year lease. They had to hand back Hong Kong. Like, they couldn't not do it. Ethan is funny. Ethan is funny.
oppression, like what you're talking about with respect to Hong Kong.
Ethan's a good debater.
The promises that Western media overall made about like how China was going to crush Hong Kong under its like ruthless, oppressive thumb has not happened.
I don't think that was the point. I think the point was just that there's whoever was, vocal about wanting to maintain certain rights in Hong Kong was probably thrown in a secret prison and never heard from again.
Which did happen. Look, we've been talking about this long enough. Hasan's position on China and Hong Kong is bad. Not China and Hong Kong. China and Taiwan, and Hong Kong even, is bad. He's willing to completely misrepresent what's going on between China and Taiwan. He's willing to say that, oh yeah, no, the Taiwanese people, they just want autonomy. They're perfectly fine being under the Chinese banner. They aren't. If they were, they would have elected parties in their democracy that favor reunification with China. They haven't. The current president of Taiwan, democratically elected, mind you, current president of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, doesn't want reunification with China, is kind of vocal about that. Taiwan is an independent nation in everything but name. They are de jure an independent nation. They are de facto an independent nation. The only thing that makes them not an independent nation is that other countries don't want to recognize them as such because it'll piss off China. But Taiwan openly trades with other countries. They openly have good relations with other countries. Even the US sends diplomats over to Taiwan. We have embassies in Taiwan. We don't call them embassies because that would piss off China, but we have functional embassies in Taiwan. Taiwan is an independent country. They don't fly the flag of the People's Republic of China. They never will fly the flag of the People's Republic of China unless they get invaded and forced into it. Which is heavily unlikely to happen because it looks pretty clear that what the US has been signaling is that, yeah, we can't necessarily come out and say our position on this, but if China fucks over Taiwan, we're perfectly fine providing further defense, just like we are with Ukraine. Taiwan is an independent nation. Hasan is a coward or an idiot or a cowardly idiot. It's possible to be both. Taiwan is an independent nation, and they will always maintain themselves as an independent nation. Just like I will always maintain that if you like the stream, you can like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. You can click the bell icon next to the subscription button if you want to know whenever I go live. You can also join the Bedhead Discord down below if you want to know whenever I go live. You can talk, you can post art, you can even debate me if you want to debate me. And also, on top of that, follow me on Twitter. I'm 15 followers away from 1,300 followers. Big number. Bigly number. Okay? Bigly number. It's so big, but it's even bigger than the population of China. Okay? I'm sorry for torturing y'all with that. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Gotta hit the stop recording button.